Right everyone, and welcome back to some more Vettel career on F1 2015, and today part 11 then, and we've got actually rounds 12 and 13 of the season then, and starting off with round 12 at Monza. So yeah, this is Ferrari's home race then, the Italian Grand Prix, and yeah, they have won the last 4 races I believe, and 3 of them from Sebastian Vettel, and 3 of them have actually been 1-2 finishes then, so the momentum is really with them here going into their home race. This will be one of the most highly anticipated Italian Grand Prix for quite a while, I'd have thought, as Q1 and Q2 was once again a walk in the park for Mercedes and Ferrari, and we go straight into Q3 then, where Vettel's initial time then was a few tenths shy actually of Kimi Raikkonen, and also Valtteri Bottas interestingly, and Mercedes actually on the back foot as well. And as we see here on the second runs, no one is actually going to improve their times, so that top part of the grid is actually going to stay how it is then, so it's going to be quite an interesting grid for tomorrow's race. Here is the full top 10, Kimi Raikkonen on pole position, and it's an all finished front row then, Valtteri Bottas less than half a tenth away from pole position, Vettel in third head of the 2 Mercedes then having a bad day, 2 Force India's getting a good result on row 4, and Marcus Ericsson is actually into Q3 then for the first time in his Formula 1 career. Never scored a point before, but he could be on for it today here then, as we're on the grid then, looking like once again a 2-stop race here for Ferrari. Monza's not too bad for tyre wear, so I think that should be comfortably doable for the Scuderia here at their home race. And we've got the lights coming on now then. Away we go then, and it's a Ferrari that leads away from pole, but it's the Williams that seems to have got the better start here then, as Valtteri Bottas going side by side with Raikkonen, as Rosberg going alongside Vettel here towards turn 1. It looks like Valtteri Bottas is going to take the lead, is he? They're going to go side by side into turn 1, and it looks like Bottas may just have come out on top here. In fact, I think Rosberg's come out on top ahead of Vettel as well here then, massive passing Hamilton as well behind, because those who started on the right hand side actually managed to get the better start then it seems, as Vettel now has a great run on Rosberg towards the Roger chicane, but Rosberg manages to defend on the inside line, and he maintains his third place as Valtteri Bottas leads for Williams then. And Finn's 1 and 2 then, and a half Finn in third. So we skip to near the end of the first lap then. Vettel with a great run here then on Nico Rosberg towards the Parabolica. Raikkonen thinking about a look there at Bottas, and Vettel's actually braked way too late there. Almost ran into the back of Raikkonen there, that would have been a bit of a disaster. But yeah, Rosberg back through and into third place. And Vettel actually has got a great run now then down the pit straight. Raikkonen with a good run on Bottas as well then. As towards turn 1, Vettel's actually closing on the front too as well then. Are they going to go 3 wide into turn 1 again? Raikkonen's going for the inside line, and Vettel really should have probably backed out there, because 3 into 1 certainly does not go. And he took a trip across the grass, but it's luckily no worse than that for him, as Raikkonen is going to take the lead then of the race. And Ferrari back in front then. Is it going to be a Ferrari 1-2 here, because Vettel's got a great run on Bottas, but no, it looks like Bottas just maintained it, but he's gone a bit wide there, and that's actually really compromised both Vettel and Rosberg there going through the chicane. This allowed Raikkonen to get a little bit of a gap there in front of them, as the Williams with some good top end speed, but just doesn't have the aero of the Ferrari or the Mercedes, as we now head out of the 2 Lesmos and now onto the straight towards Ascari. Vettel with a great run on Bottas here then, towards Ascari. He's up the inside, he's going to go through as Bottas is actually going to try and fight back here and outbrake him, but he's gone out wide and he's actually collided, I think, there with Lewis Hamilton, and I think Hamilton's gone spinning off into the wall there. We'll see replays in a second, but we see a replay now of the start, and it was obviously Kimi Raikkonen then on Ferrari home soil leading the way from pole position, but it's Bottas who got a better start alongside him. Rosberg also attacking Vettel there through the first chicane. We actually see there's a bit of a crash going on behind there, involving I think quite a few cars were involved in that one. Certainly we're going to see from Jenson Button now, he was involved in it, as we're starting down in 17th place, and Daniel Kvyat had a poor qualifying and was alongside him. Button crashed into the back of Kvyat, it looked like, and then it looked like someone else drove into the back of him after that as well. Quarters kind of received Verstappen spinning out there as well in the Toro Rosso, and we see the onboard line from Roberto Merri, so it's looking like it's probably him that has triggered part of this pile up here then, as he actually tags the back of his teammate. Was that a bit out of control there? We saw Button collecting Kvyat, and Merri just made the whole situation a lot worse there. And he's lost his front wing, so is Button, and I think a couple of others. We see the replay now then of Vettel passing Bottas. Bottas trying to hang on right outside. He's just tagged Hamilton into the wall there as he rejoined quite clumsy there from Bottas. He probably should have realised the move was done there and then been a bit more careful when rejoining. And yeah, Hamilton actually lost his front wing there, so that's really ruined his race end as well as the spin. On to lap 7 then, Raikkonen maintained his lead very well here during nearly part of the race, but Vettel managed to close in towards the end of the stint, and it was looking once again better on his tyres than his teammate. As he's going to have a good run here out of Parabolica, and he will have DRS, but it looks like he's actually passed him before they even get to the DRS zone, and through he goes into the lead then. So still Ferrari 1 and 2 here in Italy, so yeah, I'm sure the crowd will be happy enough with it. And now Vettel actually does have the priority with his pit stop here, he's in first, so yeah, I guess passing Raikkonen there was pretty crucial for him, as in he comes and Raikkonen did stay out another lap, so yeah, that's a bit different to what we have been seeing actually in some recent races. But yeah, Vettel onto another set of the option tyres then, so it looks like he is on target with his 2-stop here, as he's going to be joined down in around about 5th place. I think past Maldonado is just going to get ahead of him here. Obviously Maldonado going about 220 miles an hour there, Vettel going up to speed from about 60, so yeah, Maldonado takes the place, but yeah, it won't be long I'm sure before Vettel is passing him here and going through into 4th place. Maldonado though does have a Mercedes power unit in the back of his car, so yeah, he may be able to put up a bit of a fight there, but just the Lotus is so underdeveloped really compared that it wasn't much competition. And then Rosberg and Raikkonen pit at the end of lap 9, so that puts Vettel back into the lead. And Raikkonen and Rosberg start battling for 2nd place, and they actually collide there. Raikkonen spinning out as Rosberg went round the outside of him, and it took a long time for Raikkonen to get going again, and it really hurt his chances, and in fact ruined his chances of a podium finish here today. As we see here, Rosberg left space, but Raikkonen just sort of understeered into him a little bit. There's an aggressive move there from Rosberg, and a vicious one. And then on the next lap, in fact, Rosberg seemingly has a brake failure here, goes into the wall, and that's his race over. So yeah, 2nd and 3rd in this race are suddenly out of contention. And Rosberg's suddenly out of the race, Raikkonen out of contention. And yeah, it's given Vettel now an easy ride, it seems, to the checkered flag from here, as he goes on to the prime tyres then for his 2nd and final stop of the race. And he's going to exit the pits then with a comfortable lead here then. And yeah, Master and Bottas, no to be seen. Master's actually just crossed the line and has another stop to make. I think he's actually just come in for it right then, in fact. As out of, yeah, we're going to skip now to the final lap then. And it's been a dominant drive from Vettel once again here. And this would have been one he was really dreaming about here. Obviously, watching Michael Schumacher win for Ferrari so many times. And he's here on Ferrari's home soil now for the Tifosi. And he's going to come across the line to win the Italian Grand Prix for Ferrari.
Woohoo! Grazie ragazzi, grazie.
It's his 3rd win in a row. It's Ferrari's 5th in a row now. They are just going from strength to strength this season, and it's the 2 Williams who actually joined him on the podium here today. Then Felipe Massa, still a lot of memories here of being supported by the Tifosi, but yeah, I think the man that has won over all of the Tifosi here today is Sebastian Vettel. If there are any doubts about if he was the right man to replace Fernando Alonso at Ferrari, I think those doubters have been proved wrong here, and yeah, it is going to be parties for the rest of the day, I think, in Italy, as Vettel takes that win. And there is the final results then. Vettel with a half a minute lead then over Felipe Massa. Once again, completely dominant here today. Valtteri Bottas finished in 3rd, having qualified on the front row of the grid. Lewis Hamilton recovered actually to 4th. It was a good drive from him, actually, after that front wing got knocked off, and Raikkonen could only manage 5th after that spin. Daniel Ricciardo was 6th, moving up from 9th on the grid. Pastor Maldonado had a great result from 12th on the grid to finish 7th in his Lotus. Daniel Kvyat was 8th. He also did a 2-stop here today, which most of the field actually did do for once here today. Marcus Ericsson scored his first ever points here. Will Stevens, 12th place for Manu Marussia, a great result for him then, with only 16 finishers, and he stayed out of all the trouble, most of it caused by his teammate who finished down in 16th and was last. And yeah, 12th place for him then, a great result for Marussia there. It's not really going to help them because they are the only team not to score points, but yeah, for the team as a whole, it's just a really sort of refreshing and sort of a bit of a good news story for them then, as he finishes ahead of 2 world champions there. As we see in the driver standings now, Vettel with a 35-point lead over Lewis Hamilton, as we're really getting into the second half of the season now. And yeah, he's just racking up these wins and just taking killer blows here to Hamilton's title hopes. And it was Hamilton cruising early on in the season. He had the lead for the first 9 rounds, and now Vettel 35 clear. Rosberg 93 back in the championship, Raikkonen 44 back. So you have to say Rosberg's out of it at this point, but Raikkonen maybe with a chance if he can turn it around a little bit. Perez leapfrogs Verstappen further down. Maldonado goes up to 12th in fact as well. He's only 5 points now behind his teammate Romain Grosjean after that very good points finish from him today, as Nico Hülkenberg and Felipe Nasr both get demoted down today. And down in the bottom few places, not much changes, but Marcus Ericsson is on the board for the first time in his F1 career. But yep, in the constructors end, Ferrari at their home race now are going to be leaving it with an 84-point advantage over Mercedes, as they are just running away with this now. Lotus overtake Toro Rosso then today with those points from Maldonado, and that is sort of it for Italy then. We now move on to the Singapore Grand Prix. Once again, no problems for Mercedes or Ferrari in Q1 and Q2. And on to Q3 then. Ricciardo with the initial pole time, but Vettel improved on that quite a bit with a 43.7, which was looking pretty good. And then Rosberg does that, a 43.1, nearly over half a second clear of Vettel there. And we skip to the final run then, and actually a little bit of light rain starting to fall there, but Vettel actually did improve his time, but he couldn't improve his position, and he is going to be 3rd place here today behind the 2 Mercedes. And those are 4 results then. Lewis Hamilton less than a quarter of a tenth ahead of Nico Rosberg to get pole position, as he tries to somehow get himself back into the title fight here after leading it for so long. We've got a bit of Noah's Ark top 6 then. There's Daniel Ricciardo playing a good performance for 7th, ahead of Perez, Grosjean and Verstappen, getting Toro Rosso into the top 10 for the first time in a while. But onto the grid then. It's looking like possibly a 3-stop race here. Tyre wear quite high with the super soft and soft tyres, so maybe Ferrari will have to do 3 stops for once here today, as the lights are coming on now. And away they go then in Singapore. And it's been not a good start at all really from Vettel then. He's got Raikkonen trying to get alongside him here. He's going to sweep around the outside and take the normal line there. And he's maintained the place, and in fact Raikkonen actually lost the place to Bottas as they went side by side there. So Mercedes then with the start that they've been hoping for, then they've stayed 1 and 2, and Ferrari have not really troubled them at all at that start. So is this going to be the race where Mercedes finally hit back? We'll have to wait and see then. But Vettel will certainly be looking to try and build up even more of a gap in the championship if he can here, and he's all over the back of Nico Rosberg in fact already. We see a replay of the start then, and just Vettel didn't get away at all well, went to cover his teammate actually. May have not been the best decision actually, because he actually cut him up a little bit, and that allowed Bottas to get himself between them. But maybe Vettel was sort of hoping for that and actually had a bit of pressure off him. But we see Raikkonen, his initial start wasn't great actually, but sort of in the secondary phase he seemed to close in, and it wasn't like Vettel really squeezing too much, but I think sort of the angle Raikkonen was going in at, he had sort of had to back out of it, and Bottas got through. We'll see a good view from here then, as Bottas did seem to get a better launch than both Ferraris there. And he's just going to follow Vettel's line there around the outside. And he is going to, quite bravely there actually, sweep round and take 4th place. We skip to lap 5 though, where Lewis Hamilton is just not getting away out front. It's kind of like in Hungary actually, where he managed to get pole, but then he's just had no race pace. But only on lap 5 then, he's actually pitting already. So that's looking like possibly a 4-stopper from there. As we've got Rosberg staying out, so is Vettel then. And Vettel with DRS there, but not quite close enough. And he had raw on the back of that Mercedes though, and it was so close for these early laps. And now that one Mercedes out of the way, I think Vettel's now thinking it's his time to pounce here. And he's getting alongside here towards turn 4. It looks like he's going to do a switch back there, and that is actually a lovely switch back. And he has taken the place from Rosberg, and through he goes into the lead of the race. And he's now got a bit of DRS to try and pull away as well. We see him on board then from the back of Nico Rosberg's car. You see Vettel just set himself up so much better through the first few corners, and then he has Rosberg a little bit offline there. He's just able to sweep back there, take the apex he wants, and take the lead. And he's got some nice DRS as well to sort of maintain that. But we skip on to lap 7 then. Rosberg and Raikkonen I think both pit on lap 6. So it looks like Raikkonen copying the Mercedes strategy once again, and Vettel sort of doing his own thing out front. But he is sticking with the 3-stopper then, didn't feel like trying the 2-stopper today it seems. And we'll see if it is a 4-stopper for those behind or not. But Vettel onto another set of the option tyres then, and we'll see how they play out for him then. As Master and Ricciardo, I think, are going to come in. Well, actually, I think one of them might be staying out here. In fact, it's actually Kvyat in the other Red Bull who stays out, and so is Sainz there. I think Button's going to go through as well, as Vettel navigates this tight pit exit. And yeah, he's out into 4th place, and Felipe Nasr just behind as well, who hasn't pitted. But behind them, the team Mercedes going wheel to wheel, and it looks like it might just be Rosberg here coming out on top over Hamilton, who had been struggling quite a bit. But with it being such a narrow track and Vettel still getting tight some temperature, he actually got stuck behind that little group there for the whole lap, and it actually allowed Rosberg to claw back the advantage there. Vettel actually had got the overcut on, well, he was already ahead actually, but yeah, he overall came out on top of the Mercedes there. And then on lap 10, he actually gets a 3-second penalty for corner cutting, and yeah, a little bit harsh like the one in Hungary there, as it didn't really gain him that much time. But yeah, he actually is going to hit back straight away then with the fastest lap of the race, extended the gap back out to a 2.5, so he's really going to try and push here. He's on a similar strategy here to the Mercedes, I think, maybe even the exact same one. So yeah, he's probably going to try and beat them with pace then. I mean, the Ferrari seems to work better on its tyres than the Mercedes, like looking at the races so far this season. So even if they are on the same strategy, it seems that the Ferrari will be able to extract more pace, whereas the Mercedes will have to be more conservative. So that's going to play into his hands. As you can see there, he's actually built up quite a bit of a gap there. Rosberg was just coming in there as well, and the gap was 7.8 seconds. So yeah, he really pushed hard over that rest of that stint, just getting the most out of the tyres, and yeah, get that gap up as much as he could. And looks like the 3 seconds is going to be comfortable here. He exits pit, still in the lead then. On to the next lap though. Yeah, another 3-second penalty. So he's got 6 seconds now to try and build up, but I think he's actually got the 6 seconds at this point. So he's just got to try and be a bit more careful now, and make sure that yeah, he's not cutting any more and getting any more penalties. As you see here, he's got nearly a 10.5 second lead, so he's fine in terms of the race lead at this point. As we're getting pretty close now then to the final stop here for the prime tyres, and just coming to finish this lap now, and then we get a radio message actually there saying light rain in 15 minutes. Well, there's only 11 laps left, but this is quite a long lap here, around about 1:45, so it looks like that rain probably will be arriving by the time the race has ended. So yeah, that's going to be quite interesting in the final few laps of the Grand Prix, as Vettel is going to come in now then on the next lap for his final stop then onto the prime tyres. Rosberg is going to come in behind him as well, and yeah, I think Raikkonen also came in behind as well. So yeah, Rosberg there you see, well, he's comfortably over 6 seconds ahead of him at this point. So yeah, it doesn't look like there's going to be much worries here, as long as he keeps it up, well, as long as he doesn't make any mistakes and get any more penalties, and he keeps it together. If this rain comes, then he should be fine from here, it looks like, as he's had the pace over the Mercedes all race. And the gap there is 12 seconds, you see. And in fact, we just start seeing now spots of rain coming down, see some water trickling off the car, and yeah, this is going to be an interesting 5.5 laps until the checkered flag here. Will they actually get to the end on these dry tyres, or will they have to switch to inters? That could be a bit of a twist here, but the track didn't get wet quickly enough. You see some damp patches here on the final lap, and Rosberg did actually have a bit more pace here and close the gap down to under 10 seconds. But there was no more penalties with Vettel. He had that 6-second window comfortably. And yeah, I think just with the warm temperatures of Singapore, just most of the rain just burnt up on the track surface really. And yeah, just ended up with a few damp patches at the end. And we see a few drops of rain now appearing on the camera then. But it's too late for it to ruin Sebastian Vettel's day. He comes down the final corner and wins the Singapore Grand Prix. And yeah, he's going to have a comfortable margin then, and there's no doubt in that he will be winning the race despite those penalties, as Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg are going to join him on the podium then. And that is the first time for quite a while actually that we've seen both Mercedes on the podium together. So it really says a lot about like how Ferrari have sort of risen up to their level and now surpassed them. That Mercedes have gone quite a few races now without having a double podium. I mean, they haven't won a race since Canada. I'm pretty sure that was the last time they had both cars on the podium. So yeah, they have really got some work to do here if they're going to try and hit back. But yeah, it's yet another win for Vettel, and 4 in a row now. And yeah, despite the penalties, he still won them by 5.5 seconds. And nearly, 25 seconds over Lewis Hamilton there with Raikkonen quite way behind. And yeah, Hamilton did actually do the forced stopper in the end, then he had to do that having pitted so early. Daniel Ricciardo playing a good drive then to beat both of the Williams then, despite qualifying behind them. Daniel Kvyat from 18th on the grid, he was well up position on the grid, but he managed to recover to 8th, so great drive from him. The two McLarens also actually made it into the point today then, so good results from them around this street circuit. Obviously their good chassis playing into their hands there a little bit, as Carlos Sainz finishes in 11th then, ahead of Nico Hülkenberg. But yeah, no points for Toro Rosso today then, and Felipe Nasr beats his teammate Marcus Ericsson. The two Manners both making it to the finish once again in 17th and 18th place, getting some more mileage there. And Perez and Maldonado were the two drivers who failed to finish today's race. And yeah, we'll now look at the drivers' standings. And it is now a 45-point lead that Vettel is going to carry to the Japanese Grand Prix. And yeah, just 6 races to go then. And it's really starting to... Well, if Vettel finishes second every race now to Hamilton, he is guaranteed the title. So yeah, it's not even fully in Lewis Hamilton's hands at this point. That's how good, well, that's how big the margin Vettel now has. Raikkonen 57 back is really starting to slip away here, having looked like he may be able to get back into it a few races ago. Rosberg well have it now, 100 points back. There's no way he's going to close that back down. The two Williams are still pretty close on points. And looking further down, we see Jenson Button actually overtaking Felipe Nasr in the championship today then. With I think he got 1 point, or is either 1 point or 2 today. And yeah, looking further down, no other changes then in the drivers' standings. In the constructors, though, Ferrari externally once again, it's now 88 points they carry into the final 6 races. And yeah, still some time for Mercedes to recover some of that back, but yeah, they're going to have to do it pretty quickly, because Ferrari are just going from strength to strength, as we've already said, and it's going to be really difficult now for Mercedes to try and recover that here. But yeah, that is it for this race and well, this double bill episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you didn't mind that the last 2 have been double bills. It's just that none of the 4 races were like massively eventful, so it made more sense to just group them in and like make sure that they were all a decent video with them. So yeah, leave a like if you enjoyed this one, and any thoughts, any comments, whatever. And check the description for links to my Twitter and Twitch. Other than that, I'll see you next time for Japan. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.